It's almost spring break, Greg. One of the best times to be in Happy Valley for my money.
And spring forward, the clocks change Saturday night, Sunday morning.
How do you feel about it? You pro? Daylight savings time?
I am pro.
I actually am too. There's a lot of this talk about, we got to reform it, we got to change it. I have looked at it from every angle. It's not perfect, but I think it's like Churchill's definition of democracy. It's the worst system imaginable except for all the alternatives. Like, just leave it. Leave it as it is.
Amen. Now let's get into sports.
Let's do it.
What's happening?
Well, this weekend is obviously huge, right? Because Penn State is going to be the host for the Big 10 Wrestling Championships. Been a little bit of a kerfuffle with the seedings because they went away, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe they're just trying to save coaches time, but they went away from the traditional approach of the conference's coaches working hard to create a seeding that reflects how each wrestler performed over the course of the regular season. And nobody knows that better than that community of coaches. But again, I guess they wanted to take it off their shoulders. They outsourced it to a third party, and the results have been not so good. And Cale Sanderson's been pretty outspoken about his dissatisfaction with the process.
And with his dissatisfaction, are there any changes because of that, or they're locked and loaded?
Well, we will see. We'll see. But I feel like when a voice as authoritative as Cale's speaks out as strongly as he has, people tend to listen. Now, the one thing that just baffles me, I love the Big 10. It's been, 30 plus years, and there's still some folks at Penn State who are not entirely comfortable being a part of this conference, and I do feel their pain. When Alabama football was just an unstoppable juggernaut, they were destroying everyone, including everyone else in their conference. Greg Sankey was all about it because he just thought it was great. Hey, if there's going to be a Death Star in college football, I'd rather have it on my side of the fence than anywhere else. And Greg Sankey's the commissioner of the SEC. And they milked that for all they had. The Big 10 almost seems upset that Penn State is so good in wrestling. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's resentment or they imagine that if there was more intra-conference competitiveness, it would make everything more marketable. Penn State has, I think, a little bit gotten the short end of the stick in this seeding kerfuffle. And I just don't get the sense that Tony Petitti, who's commissioner of the Big 10 now, that he and his brethren in the conference office view it as much of a problem as if back in the Saban days, if anything, the slightest thing would have gone bad for Nick Saban and Alabama football in the SEC office.
So the seeding, you're saying it equalizes things? Does this mean Penn State's not going to dominate?
No, it's fine. Yeah, everything will be fine. We're way down in the weeds with this thing. It's about matchups, and I think Levi Haynes is going to be just fine, whether he's seeded 1 or 2. It's just that I understand it's probably frustrating to everybody else, just like it was to everyone in college football when Saban was dominating, especially down in SEC country. But I know it's frustrating when Penn State is just so much better than everyone else in the sport. But it's kind of like it got to the point in the NBA where they were looking around for someone else to give the MVP to, so they didn't just give it to Jordan every single season. Well, Jordan deserved it every single season, and Penn State wrestling and our individual wrestlers deserve the accolades, and sometimes I feel like they get denied those just to try to make it more interesting. Now, David Taylor and Oklahoma State are coming. I think they are going to surprise some folks even at nationals this season, and that's going to be great for wrestling. But in the short term, Bryce Jordan Center is going to be the center of the wrestling world because the Big 10 Conference, top to bottom, with Nebraska and Ohio State, just still dominating the sport. And so the conference championships being right here in Happy Valley, that's going to be awesome. This is actually like a makeup because this was supposed to happen in 2020, but then obviously, or 2021, and there's a COVID thing. And at the same time, over at Pagula Ice Arena, the women's hockey team is playing for their second straight conference tournament championship. That's going to be at 2 o'clock on Saturday versus Mercyhurst. So they were regular season conference champs 2 years running now. They won the conference tournament last year. And it's the 1 seed Penn State versus 2 seed Mercyhurst in the AHA. They're going for their second straight tournament championship. So that little sports complex that's developed over there with Medlar and Beaver Stadium and Pagula and the BJC, that's going to be buzzing over the weekend. There's going to be a home game for the baseball team this week. So finally, with weather starting to thaw, so we're at a bit of a disadvantage here in Big 10 country with our baseball.
So women's hockey, we're ranked number 1.
We're the number 1 seed in the conference. So I think we're ranked number 3 nationally.
Okay,
right now.
and the event is Saturday at 2:00.
Yes,
It's
sir.
free admittance.
Don't quote me on that. Maybe because it's a conference tournament.
Okay,
There's a
like
little
the fee.
price, but it's manageable, negligible.
And the Big 10 wrestling championships run what days?
It's going to be Saturday and Sunday.
Just Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, but all day. It's doors open at 8:30 a.m.
So the town will be packed. Hotels will be all booked. It's going to be a buzzing weekend.
Yeah, I got to mention, by the way, I'm enjoying my cheese shop coffee here. So shout out to Bill Clark and the cheese shop. StateCollegeCoffee.com.
Love Bill.
Yeah, the
So
best.
what else?
One of the gems of the Nittany Valley.
One of the gems, no doubt. A coveted third place, they call them. Hockey, wrestling, what else? You mentioned baseball. Is basketball over? What's happening there?
You always want to make me talk about basketball.
Well, is there any events coming up, or was there any chance to see Purdue come to town?
I thought I've made my reluctance to cover that topic manifest.
Well, it's a good event to go up there and enjoy if there's any more games left.
There's plenty of available seats. No, I think we're coming to the end of the regular season for both sports. They are going to be able to go to their conference tournament because they're taking everybody. Now, they used to omit the last and second to last place teams in the conference, so they don't do that anymore. And Penn State will live in infamy, I suppose, as the only university in the country that had both its men's and women's teams omitted from their respective conference tournaments in the same season. That was last year. That's good stuff. But yeah.
Okay, spring break next week here in Happy
Yes.
Valley. For
Yes.
Penn
One of the
State.
best times to be up here.
Yes.
If you want to make a trip back to Penn State and relive your college days, that's the weekend to do it.
It's great.
No crowds, no lines, and you will be beloved by every server, bartender, restaurateur, business owner, because you're going to be the only money they see for a week. You'll be treated like a king.
And
Or
so
queen.
after spring break, men's lacrosse, is that
Yeah.
heating up?
Yeah.
They have a shot for glory this year?
Yeah, they're already pulling upsets. And I talked about it when you and I sat down last. It's going to be up and down a little bit this season, I think largely just because they are breaking in a freshman goaltender. But for a guy to step on campus and play that position right away, what that tells you is that Jeff Tambroni sees the promise in the young man and has determined that the best way to get him better is to just let him play in a live fire situation and make his mistakes in real time. So by the time we get to the end of this season, Penn State men's lacrosse could be one of the most dangerous teams in the country.
Great. What about men's hockey? Tell us about that. Gavin's playing. He's doing the celebration dance.
Yeah. So they're going to finish up their regular season, and they're going to have a home game in the Big 10 tournament. And so
When is that?
Everything's rolling
Estimated
there.
when is that? The Big 10 hockey.
I think it's
Home
going
game.
to. So we're recording this right first week of March. I think we're talking middle of the month.
Got it. Good. A lot happening.
Yeah, we're not
Spring
going
is here.
25 minutes like we did last time. Greg.
Spring is here.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you.
Spring break in Happy Valley, no better place to be on earth.
Amen. Thanks, Chris.